Hello, and welcome to another edition of HotCox. I'd like to apologize to the audience because I am not in the studio, so we might have some small internet/technical hiccups because I'm in like a hotel room. But the drama never sleeps, so we have to we have to do it from here. And joining me from all the way from the C region, Jackie Mao, EternaLEnVy. How are you today?
I'm good, I guess. We just
You're,
won
you
the minor qualifiers, so I mean, it feels good for now.
so this is a interesting topic that we're going to be talking about. Some general stuff, but mostly about the roster change that you guys had very recently. Do you want to just dive right in? Do you have anything you want to say beforehand, or?
I mean, that's such a broad question. It's hard to answer. Yeah, do you have
I
any
mean,
like
I
more specific, and then maybe I'll get broad myself, but like I need something to start
okay,
off on.
all right, okay. Um, I guess I'll just go through the Reddit questions that have been asked to me. I've filtered them out to reasonable ones. There were a lot that were, how do I put this? Very flaming. So I tried to limit it down, and now we have some questions that we can actually ask. So first, uh, what are the differences between the two players that you felt you needed to make a change?
All right, fuck these questions. I got this. Okay.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Uh,
I actually want to start from the very beginning, I guess, since I also want to talk about the demon incident. So what
okay.
happened was after TI, because I didn't even know it was an incident apparently, but apparently people got really butthurt from that one. After TI 7 was TI 7. Demon approached me and he asked if I wanted to play on Fnatic with Abed,
Uh-huh.
and but he told me that like him and Fnatic are tight, especially him and Ohio. They're like best buddies or some shit. They're like really
Okay.
close. And like he was already a part of the team, and he just looking for a carry and a mid. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then I messaged Eric in Ohio, and then Ohio told me he's like, what? Demon in Fnatic? No. Like he's not. Like, I mean, that's how he talks to me. He's like, he's not part of the team yet. Whoever confirmed that, I was like, oh, it was Demon. So like he wasn't actually like even part of the team yet. Like
Okay.
it's just like I mean I don't blame him
But
for saying it.
he made it seem like he was part of the team.
Which is fine because like
Yeah, yeah,
you kind of like I accept that sort of behavior like when it comes to these roster things because it's like
Okay.
you really just want to do what's best for yourself. I don't blame
Uh,
him for that. So there's no like I don't feel anything towards him for doing that. But like
uh,
he was never part of the team. In fact, he wasn't even like close. Like there was at least 2 to 3 more players that they were gonna take over him for position 5. So
okay.
the only way like he would have joined is if somehow he convinced Fnatic that he got a bet, and a bet will only play if Demon plays. Uh,
Okay.
or I would do that. Like if I convince him that I would only play if Demon plays. But
I see.
if neither one of those options, like that's why he wanted us as well. I mean, he also wants us. He just wants to play with us, you know.
Right.
But if neither one of those options happened, they would have got. I don't want to like name the players, because some of the players like okay, whatever. But there was actually at least 2 more position 5 players. I'll name one of them. Like they would have just took Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why I was like I still kind of want to play at that point. That's after TI, so like you don't really know for sure. But
Right.
I still really wanted to play. Actually, no, I actually really wanted to play. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a few other options I was considering, but like they don't really work out. And at the end we just did this. So yeah, this like thing about like me like fucking over Demon, it wasn't really the case. Uh,
Okay.
I mean, at least I think so. And then after that, we wanted to get out of bed, but he wouldn't leave DC because I don't know, he just wouldn't,
He
whatever.
liked
And
Bulba, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, they're friends. You stole him.
yeah. He
Well,
would make
but okay, so
no choices in life. Anyway, so
yeah.
I went over and at this point I was like kind of committed, like regardless of whatever mid player I get, and we are looking for mid players, and I asked a few players. I mean, whatever. I don't want to. I don't because I don't know if like it will hurt the other side if I told you guys like which
you don't
mid
have to
players I was asking.
say who you got. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
But regardless, we got Excalibur, right? And then we played, and like it didn't feel very good playing. And like the team was actually not cancers in any way. It was actually a very nice environment to play for. I was very surprised. Like when I entered the house, there was a DJ. He was the only one there. He doesn't even say hi to me, you know. He just watches a Facebook video. He doesn't even say hi. Doesn't turn around. Doesn't look at me. He doesn't give a shit, dude. It's just like these C players. I don't know. Like they don't care about these superficial like handshakes or like hugs or whatever. Like they actually only care about things that are like to them important. Like they're all like introverts. Like I was kind of like that too until I entered the scene. Like and it still took me like a year. So I was like, holy shit, this is so weird. But then you realize like they just don't care about these things. And what I mean by this is like,
yeah. So one of the questions someone asked was, do you think that friendship is a very important part of a Dota team, or is it just like business?
I mean, it's like for me, it's definitely not business in any way, almost. But friendship is like sometimes I don't know. It's like it's really weird. Like sometimes you're not really friends with someone, but for some reason, like when the tournament goes further and further, you get this sense of trust in them, like a very strong sense of trust. You just feel very comfortable around them.
Yeah, your teammates. It's different than friends. If you've ever been on a sports team, it's very similar kind of situation.
I find friendship like it can help and it cannot help. And sometimes like friendship is like sometimes like you put up a player and they're like, oh yeah, we're friends. Like why are we fighting? And like they're just saying a bunch of things that like take you away from the game, and it can be very harmful sometimes because like you're arguing about something that's potentially very important. Like sometimes arguments are actually needed, but then when you actually take these arguments, like at one point like one side wins or one side loses or something just feels off, and then one side goes like, yeah, but we're friends. Like why are we arguing? And then they like it doesn't stop, And it's like you don't really want to be in that position. I hope no one like in Dota teams like I hope they like kind of stop doing that because I know it happens quite a lot. At least what I heard from other people, and it happened to me a few times. And sometimes it helps a lot, right? Because you just have this like sense of trust immediately, and you really want to listen to the other person. Like sometimes when you're not friends, like the other person talks and you're like trying to find faults in what they're saying or whatever. But I think it depends. I think it can be very good, and I think it can be harmful as well.
Yeah. Okay. You can continue with the whole story.
I mean, the point of this DJ, I think I'm talking about is just like these players, they just don't care about certain things, and like when you actually play the game and you talk about drafts or strategy and stuff, they don't. I feel like they weren't brought up in this environment where like they're taught to be president of the United States. They're not like when you grow up you can be anything. I feel like when they grew up they were taught like their dads were probably like I was a fucking farmer and I fucking loved it. It was great. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna be a plumber. You're probably
you're a farmer right now.
Huh?
I said you're a farmer.
I guess, yeah, I am. No, I wasn't taught that way. But like, I was taught to like, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be you have to be like a lawyer, But they were probably taught like, oh, when you grow up, you're gonna be like you're gonna be a janitor, you're gonna love it. And like, they just like, they don't have this sense of like, they don't want to like take over you. They don't want to like take power, They don't like argue for the sake of arguing. They don't like want to feel like they're a leader, And just that's the scene environment, like. After every game, they would like turn to me, and they would ask me, like, what do you think went wrong? They were like, and they would look at me with eyes like these puppy eyes. They're like, yo, what went wrong, man? Like
puppy eyes. Want to fight you or?
No, not like those eyes. But I was surprised, like, cause I felt like most Dota players are not like that. Because most Dota players, at least the ones I played with, like there was always like this really strong sense of ego, because like we're like the best of like the game, right? At the top, 0.1% or some shit. Or more, probably better than that. and you kind of develop a sense of ego, especially when you play pubs and you're like everyone's so fucking bad. But like the C players, like they don't really feel that way, and I was very surprised by that. And then of course like Excalibur himself was not like that, even though he wasn't a C player. So I actually felt very good playing for that team, both Excalibur, Hohao, DJ, and Pi, even though we weren't doing very well. But regardless, like we actually felt like the main problem at that point, at least for us, was Ohio and Excalibur, and we were thinking about replacing both of them. But
and when was this? This was like
this was very early. This was like October.
Okay, all right.
But we didn't do it. We wanted to like first we were like let's just like we like Ohio's like been with us for a long time. Like I mean I like personally like I wasn't that close with them yet, but like I still understand. Like I still respect the like that they're like they've been playing together and like they worked out before and so something else was the case. And then regardless we got a bed. After like we talked about roster changes for like a month, but it didn't happen. Like we're gonna get some mid players.
And when you say we, you mean like everyone else on the team?
No, I mean Ohio was part of this discussion.
Okay.
At least for Excalibur, and even for himself. Like he actually like we actually told him that this is not cool. Like you can be replaced. Because what happened after TI was I mean afterwards like he started practicing really hard, but before that he was like he wasn't playing very much. He was playing like 1 or 2 games a day, but on his own or like less than that. And I mean I don't blame him for any of this. Like I actually like playing with him. But there was a period of time where he wasn't trying very hard, and we were doing very poorly as well. So it was like it came, and then
But then he started playing better and practicing more, right?
I mean, after we got to bed,
Yeah.
I felt like he like sometimes when you don't have faith in a team, you just naturally like not put in the effort. And I guess that was the case for him. But regardless, like he was actually warned that like just because you're like the longest standing member does not mean you're like you can just do these things. It's not cool, Like he wasn't being a bad person or anything, but he just wasn't playing. And so he was kind of warned that this is possible. But regardless, like we never changed him, and there was no ill feelings ever. Like Ohio is actually like he's actually a really positive person. Like it was actually very enjoyable playing with him. He always kept the. I mean, he just starts singing randomly, or like he'll just be like playing, and I'll just be like, "Oh my wall," and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then you're like, "I don't even know what "Oh my wall" means." It's like the meme, like "Oh my wall, Mo Shinder."
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
He'll just keep saying the first part of it, like repeat it.
You're making me sad, man. You're saying he's like such a good teammate and stuff. What?
No, he was.
So then what? Why did you change it? So why'd you make this? Why'd you change it?
I mean the biggest issue is just that like the team felt like we can't win. Like we're just not gonna. Like I think that's like.
Was it the Summit series or what?
No, it just like it just for all the time. Like
because we killed EG. Like our tournament that made EG switch their roster. So I don't want to be responsible for 2 of those. What? So
BTS. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's like it's more like Summit was like the tournament where we can turn it around.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You guys did really good at Summit.
No, what I meant is like Summit was a tournament where like we can prove that he can prove otherwise. Like he can prove that he can change. But at Summit, like he made the same mistakes that he has always made for the last like few months. And when a player like is unable to adapt like to like what the team wants, like on a consistent basis for like a few months, it really will like make your team like they'll just like you can just look at them and you're like you slowly like lose your passion to win. Like you slowly like you just know that people don't believe that they can win anymore. Like they can't.
You guys made the finals though, so you were seeing mistakes in his play, even when you guys were winning, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Like even when we were winning, we would go over replays, and every time it will always be like at least we would think it was his mistakes. Like maybe we were making our own mistakes, but like we couldn't recognize them as much as his. And more important. It's not more. It's not really about that. It's more about the fact that like we will recognize our own mistakes as well, but like over time we will develop like an understanding where like we will not make those same mistakes again, right?
I see.
And
Okay.
we'll just get better at them. And then of course over a long period of time, we've been playing for like a few months. We will stop losing out on these mistakes. Whereas like this, it's been the same mistakes, like same communication mistakes, same just there's just some things. And when that keeps happening over and over again, you will lose faith in a team because you're not improving. You don't feel like you're improving. And if you're not improving, you don't feel like you can win TI or anything like that. Then your passion for Dota will just die. And like that's not something that we want it to happen. Um, so like we were already like I feel like people were already thinking about roster changes already.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never brought up until after Summit. And after Summit, I would just say I brought it up, and I actually like I brought it up already like to the to no not to the DJ like to my manager because like I wanted to vent and I like because I was getting very frustrated with some of the things that were happening. But like I told him like don't tell anyone this like I don't know like I'm just venting like I might change my opinion like things can change but like I just needed someone to vent it. And this is over like a course of like a month and a half. And after Summit, I mentioned it, and then everyone like, I mean, I only mentioned it to like DJ and Abbott because I was with them, and I wasn't with the like we were on separate flights for some reason. I don't fucking know why, even though they're like 1 hour apart.
Okay.
But when I brought it
Don't
up,
blame the people that booked the flights. Come on.
but when I brought it up, they were like very
They
strong
agreed with you?
for it.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's not like no, they just kept talking.
Mhm.
Like they just wouldn't stop talking. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like so much things came out, and I was like, damn, like all right.
The floodgates opened, essentially.
Yeah, basically like I started right, and then like you just see like they just kept talking about
So what you're saying is
you know.
that it was a group kind of like discussion, and everyone felt that potentially roster changes need to be made, and it wasn't just like you declaring something.
I mean, I think that's always the case though.
Okay.
For every team, right?
I mean, I don't know. Some people were assuming, so I just wanted to clarify. I don't know.
No, I think that's so silly, like to assume. I don't know why people assume those things. Like, yeah, it actually makes no sense to me. Like when you're in a group for a few months together, and you're making decisions, especially for me, like for me, people to say like I'm in complete control of Fnatic is like retarded. Like, cause sure I'm the captain order, and like the team actually like I'm surprised like it took them very few time to believe in me. There was actually some Bible dump moment where like it was like 2 months ago, like we were talking about kicking people, and I was like, like I'm okay with you guys, cause like there was an incident with Pi where like they were thinking about maybe replacing Pi, and like I actually got mad and I was like, no, like you can't like try to replace someone while telling them what mistakes they're making because like we were just doing bad so they want to change, but like we never actually talked about Pi's mistakes. We only talked about Ohio and Excalibur. So you can't like you have to give them a chance to change. You have to give them a chance to improve. But they wanted to change Pi for someone else, which I won't name, and like I was like, no, like you can't do that. And I told them like if you want to kick me, like I hope you tell me like not tell me that you're gonna kick me, but tell me like show that I'm making mistakes. Show me in what some way or form that like I need to improve in a certain aspect, or else you're not actually giving me the chance to. You're not even giving me a chance to get better. You're kicking me for a reason that maybe I can even fix.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, like Eric was like, I actually don't think we're ever kicking you. Like I was like, damn, like because I was only on that team for like a month. And he's like, I don't see why we would ever kick you. And I was like, damn, all right. So
Okay.
it was kind of touching. But regardless, I don't know why I talked about this. Yeah.
Because you want everyone to know that they would never kick you. That's why.
Yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, after Summit, no, my whole point was the fact that like you're gonna talk. Like that's what you need. Like you're gonna talk about these kicks. There's no way like you don't talk about it. Like, I'll be retarded.
Okay. So then the universe news drops, and when it happened, what was it like? Did you talk to other people on the team and were like, oh shit, we should get Universe, or did you do it yourself, or how did it go down?
I mean, we were always we were consistently looking for replacements at one point. Like we were looking for like Octoberish, but then we stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, no, let's not do that. And then after Summit, we were actually looking for it again. And I actually asked we were actually talking about Zai and Mu from NA,
Mm-hmm.
and we asked them, but they both wouldn't leave.
Well, Zai's from EU, but sure, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But regardless, they both wouldn't leave. And then we were actually gonna like just not do it anymore, because like it's not like we still enjoy playing Ohio. It's not an easy decision to make, but
Yeah.
but then this universe thing came up, because like the universe thing never came up. Like we never knew about it until
Yeah.
it happened, and then we're like, what
Mhm.
the fuck? And then we're like, all right, and then we kind
It
of talked to
was
the
it
universe.
was very it was like a well kept kind of secret for a while.
Yeah,
And then so I'm guessing did he come to you or did you talk to him? What was
I mean
the
we talked to them.
uh-huh.
But I don't think people knew that. Like there's this rumor that everyone knows that we were training rosters. There's no way that's true. Like, that's retarded. Like there's no way Kuku knew either. Like the only way like TNC would know is if they like saw Universe playing on his Smurf, and Universe has like one person added, and his Axe Mike. That's his only friend on that account. It's fucking Axe Mike.
So IX Mike leaked it? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
IX Mike.
there's a bunch of people who actually knew, but
Okay.
none of them were from C. And the reason to why they knew was because I asked Zai and asked Mu, right? So the people around them knew, but they guessed that Universe was joining a C team. Like they don't actually know it themselves. Like,
Okay.
but like they kind of know, right? They know that I'm looking for a player, and they know Universe hasn't really been looking around, you know. So it's like, oh, it's probably.
I mean,
Universe.
I thought he was going to join Optic, but you know, that didn't go the way
Yeah,
it
me
went.
too, actually.
So when he decided, so when you got an agreement from Universe, when he was like, yeah, I'll come join your team. I mean, obviously you're probably pretty happy about it, but then you had to make a decision about when to tell Ohio, and I think this is what really got you a lot of the Reddit hate.
I mean,
The timing of it. But I mean, I just want to ask you.
it didn't go down the way like that he explained it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I blame him, but I don't think it was explained to him properly. Because
Okay.
what happened was I mean, okay, what happened between Ohio and Eric, or whoever told Eric, was that like Eric told him, and Ohio like he took it more like as well as Excalibur. Like Excalibur took it extremely well, and Ohio took it very well as well. Like he was still laughing, and he was all like, "Yeah, it's fine," you know. And he was like,
What?
and he was like, "Can I still stay around? Like I'm gonna come here every now and then." I was like, "What?" I wasn't there. I'll explain that later
Okay.
too. But like he was apparently still really happy, and he was like, "Yeah, like I mean, I'll just come around," you know. I was like, "Oh,
Alright,
okay." And I think like
that's news to me. That's actually okay.
and I think it became like too friendly.
Uh-huh.
And then so I don't think Eric like felt the need to explain like in deeper detail what the fuck was going on, because apparently like he like Ohio probably cared, but like he was still like, I don't know, maybe he was happy because he just won a best of 5 against the and he's still like, yeah, you know, he still I don't know
But
why
I mean,
exactly.
he's getting kicked. He knows he just got kicked. He's not going to be playing in that major. Like I just that
No, but he's
that
a high, you know.
actually.
He's just a happy dude, right?
Uh,
So like, and then like they're very close, right? And he's like, yeah, it's okay,
okay.
you know. I don't like, you know. And even afterwards, he made a statement, right? Like immediately after, and he was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still okay with guys. I'll still cheer guys on, and like everything felt fine. So
Uh-huh.
like, I don't think he actually knew what was going on, and then he like went back and like people talked to him, people like kept saying that what happened
Yeah.
was awful.
They're like, yeah,
There was, like,
Universe already was here and he was hiding and all that stuff. Then he made another statement
yeah,
that was much more kind
he
of
was
like
kind of
this
pushed
is
by other
fucked
people
up.
actually. Which
Okay.
I'll talk about that later. But okay, anyway, so going back to the original story, like going in timeline. So what happened was we Universe like told us, I don't know exact date. I can probably look it up, but like it was like after January or something. I mean, it was after like I don't know, like somewhere after January. I mean, after
Okay.
December,
Yeah.
after New Year's. And the thing is though in Dota is that like you can't just say someone's joining your team like until they actually join your team. You know, until they leave their
Uh-huh.
old team, until they because
Right.
like we don't know. Like I'm not that close to the university. Like you know,
Yeah, he
I
could
don't
change his
know.
mind. It could
Yeah,
be
he
like
could join Animal
some.
Planet.
Yeah.
You know, Immortals kicks MSS next. You know, and yours like I'm going like because like he still wanted to stay in the states with his girlfriend. You know, like he still really wanted to. That's why I thought he was gonna join Optic. But you know, and there was some shit going on there. But it's like he like we never know like when he's gonna join Optic, whether he's gonna like join Immortals, whether he's gonna like play with this Soxa team or whatever. You know, and so until he joins, like we actually won't know. And the biggest problem and the person, like the thing I'm gonna blame actually is Valve. I don't understand why they didn't have the roster lock right after Summit. It should have been planned immediately after Summit, and because there's no tournament in between that time, right? And after Summit, they should have immediately announced that there is going to be a roster lock at this time. But instead, they just randomly said there's a roster lock now, and you're like, what? There's qualifiers going on now. Like, what the fuck is going on? And we actually asked them repeatedly over the weeks, over the Christmas break, like, is there going to be a roster lock? And we don't know, right? Like, what if the roster lock was like in February, like during Chinese New Year, which is what we were actually guessing? Then all of a sudden, like these talks are meaningless because we're gonna play Ohio, and like, you know, if we do really well, like we might not change anymore.
I see. So
And
you
it's
think
like,
you felt you were forced to change because the roster lock was so soon?
I mean, we hoped it was sooner actually, but it wasn't.
Oh,
And like,
okay.
we wish they told us actually.
So
If
you
they
wish it
told
was
us, we would've-
either sooner or later, so that you could.
I mean, I
not
just
have
wish
it
they told us.
between the- Okay, all right.
That's it. I just wish they told us a specific date when it was happening. I just wish they planned out better because this system is really bad in so many ways. And I'm like, there's been a lot of threads talking about how bad the system is already. But I feel like they were downvoted because it like took away from the drama. But anyway, back to the original story.
Who would have thought, you know?
But
Downvoting. Boy.
But anyway, so what ended up happening was the very moment this roster lock got announced, I immediately messaged Eric and I was like, "Yo, can he come over now? Like now, you know?" And he's like, because like originally we were gonna play with Ohio, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's all planned out because like, no, we're in game mode, you know? Like the roster lock announcement is like right at when the qualifier starts. Like I'm already like focused. We're like committed. We're like, all right, we're playing with Ohio for these qualifiers. You know, forget this other shit. Like we're playing. You know, focus on that. And it feels so bad. Like we're scrimming beforehand too, and we're like every time he makes a mistake, people are like, this guy's gonna get replaced. Like you know, everything just feels fucking awful. It feels so fucking bad actually. And like we're just playing, and like DJ's dad like he passed away, and like everything just feels fucking bad. Like we don't play any Dota.
Wow.
Like when we actually come back and we play together, we're like playing pretty shit because like we haven't played in a while, and it's like every time he makes mistakes, everyone's just like, "Fuck, this feels awful." Like it feels so bad, you know. And we have to act normal, and like I don't even know if DJ sad, like I mean how sad he is or whatever. But regardless, then we play his qualifiers, and we're like committed. And
yeah, but look, can I just ask you? So if it's really bad, and you know you didn't, it just like felt terrible. Why did you not just tell him? Because it sounds like from how you describe him that he might have understood and been able to play well even if you told him. Do you think that was impossible? Or
no, I don't think so. Like
okay.
I don't think that's an assumption that you can. Like I think in the past I would have made that assumption, but over time it's like because like originally on C9, right, when I made my first when we made our first kick ever, which is AUI and Pi, what ended up happening was I actually told them they were getting kicked. I told them bad because like back then I wanted to tell people as soon as possible, so I just messaged them on Skype.
Yeah, I remember that. They were not happy about that.
No, they were not.
They were not happy. They were pissed.
And like you know, that's why I tweeted something like you know I handled it really poorly. But I want to tell people as soon as possible because I wanted them to be given a chance to look for a new team during Christmas because it was after Christmas. It was after Summit again. It was after Summit again. Yeah. And anyway, what happened there was I actually didn't even have a roster before we kicked them. We didn't know we were getting Hotel. We didn't know we were getting Israel. All we knew was that we needed a roster change. And you know, but I was the only one that ever did that. Like, because afterwards, like, because that was my first like you're playing right now. I mean, I guess that was not the first kick. The first kick was Sing Sing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was the same thing,
Kicked
by
him
the way.
into streaming. He never came back.
No, he came back. He tried at least.
Oh, okay.
He tried it many times actually. Yeah, anyway, that's not the point. So that was the same thing. We kicked him before we got fought. But then over the years, like you play more and you talk to these people and like they don't do that. Like they just don't because I mean and for a good reason.
So
because
you didn't feel like you could take the risk essentially. That he might play bad. Okay.
I mean, it's like partially because of Fnatic as well. Because when I joined Fnatic, I don't have as much control as I would on like C9. Because like back then, it's like everything. Like I started all. I looked for a sponsor. Like everything was like different. But here it's like I'm joining a new team.
Right.
Yeah. And then when we did some, there's the same on MP as well. When we made the roster change, we didn't have a roster yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like obviously you have some people in mind, but like you don't have a roster yet at all, like really. And then on this team it was different because when we changed Excalibur, like we never told him until the end, like till we actually like until we kicked them, until after the tournament, until Dota Pit, and like that was like at first I actually told Eric like let's just tell him Excalibur will be fine, like he'll actually keep playing. Completely the same. Because I actually believe that he would do that. Because like he would do it for himself as well. He just wants to keep playing and improve.
Mm-hmm.
And but like they're like no, like you don't do that. Like that's stupid. Like what if he plays bad? Who's gonna take responsibility? And like as a captain, like if I make that choice, I'm basically just fucking over my team. Like I'm basically just fucking over my team for my previous teammate. And like that's not cool at all. I think as a captain, you actually have to make these shady decisions. But regardless, that wasn't really my decision though. Like that was theirs, right? And then that happened, and Ohio was part of this. He knew he was gonna get kicked, and he was completely fine with this. Like, of course, it's not after a qualifier; it's just after like a tournament. But it's he was fine with it, and then because of that happened, I was like, yeah, this is actually kind of the proper way you do it. I think. Like it's fucked up, but this actually, this is the way you do it for like, there's a conflict of interest, right? Like you don't want to like fuck over your own team, and like tell them, even though that's like morally the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But
the absolute moral thing to do is to tell them before, so that they know. But
I mean that's morally the right thing to do, but it's wrong to do it for I'm not sure what the word is, like for a real reason, like. That's morally wrong, but in reality, it's not like we're taking his money or like we're not like taking from him right? Like maybe we're taking a day from him or 2 days from him, but we're not. Or like, well, I mean, in that situation, we're taking half a day from him because we knew the day before. But
and then Universe flew there, and you had to hide him, right? You were hiding him.
Yeah.
And then he was like in your house. Well, how did he feel about this? Was he just like, oh my god, this is fucked up, or what?
I mean, it's hard to know because what happened was we got him, right? And I mean, they announced the dates. The next week we had the fucking finals. And and he flew. He has like a 24-hour flight. and it's like, all right. And we didn't even know he was flying. Like we had to convince him. And then like there's some shit with EG and like everything's so fucking fast. And all of a sudden, he's leaving his girlfriend. All of a sudden, and it's like, oh shit, everything's fucking going down so fast. He's like, I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. And I thought he was just gonna chill and play some pubs. And then he like flies over, and like we're playing during this time, like we're playing the semifinals or something. So we're not thinking about this. Like we're at least like we're trying so hard not to think about this because we have to focus. Like the tournament's not a joke. Like we have to beat really good teams. And then he flies over and. There's some misconceptions in like what Ohio said. The first one is that his name is not universal. Okay. And the second one is that he said that we hide him for a day. Like he arrived the same day we played the tournament.
Okay.
He arrived at like 2-3 a.m. And like I don't think like I think he should understand. Like I won't say that, but I think it's understandable that why we wouldn't want him to play. Like when you have a 24-hour flight and then you have to play on the same day, it's really not reasonable. Like sure we're using him, but it's like I don't know. It's just like we're using Steve as well, and like how about Nets or like how about a lot of other players that were involved?
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you. What did Ohio think at the time? Did you talk to them about deciding whether to tell Excalibur or not? Like, how did Ohio feel about not telling Excalibur, essentially?
I mean, we definitely won't tell him. Like that's how he felt. I mean, that's how the Fnatic
So
people
he
felt.
agreed with what essentially you
really-
guys did to Excalibur.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't agree. Like, I didn't agree. Pai's usually not part of any of this stuff. Like, Pai's usually just guys are like, please make decisions for me. Do I get all bet or not? Please tell me.
So then that happens. You guys qualify with Ohio, right? And then the infamous, now memed,
Pizza
biggest
party?
meme ever, pizza party happens. What was it like during that dinner? Like, why didn't you just tell him right away?
There was no pizza party at all. This was actually fucking.
He said you guys went out to pizza.
No,
what are you talking
dude,
about?
his English is just not good. Like,
So what happened?
okay, this is what happened. The very moment the tournament ends, like, and Universe arrives, and like we still haven't decided yet. We just finished tournament. We're so focused. That's the thing. Like we haven't even made the decision whether he's gonna play or not. It was already assumed by everyone that he's not gonna play because it's ridiculous. No one ever assumes that when you arrive, you play on this immediately. As we
So
started.
it was decided that he was being kicked, but it was not decided who was playing in what yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then immediately after the tournament, I immediately go back. They're like, "Oh, let's go out to celebrate for dinner." I was like, "No, I'm going back right now." And I went back and I talked to the Universe, and I was like, "All right, I want to do it now." Like I know, like if you're, he feels scared, like because if we lose, then he's like, "Oh, I'm worse than Ohio." There's a bunch of fucking shit going on, and he's like,
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
He's kind of zoned out, He's kind of like, I feel like shit, and I'm like, no, like I actually want you to play, like now.
Okay.
And there was more discussion. I wasn't like super focused like that because I was kind of relaxed after winning, and it was like I want his opinion as well, right?
Yeah.
But like I was trying to convince him to play, and
you're talking about for the next qualifier for the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And originally the qualifier was the next day, but we had a 1-day break, thankfully. So.
Mm-hmm. So then you guys then decide after you made that decision, you decided to tell Ohio, right?
Okay, so what happened was we were gonna go out to celebrate at steak or something, and then Eric's like, "Fuck it, okay, since I'm not going, or I'm doing this, we're just gonna order pizza."
Okay.
Right? There was no fucking party. We're just gonna order some fucking pizza.
Okay,
right?
hold on. How many pizzas were ordered?
I don't fucking know because
If there's more than one pizza, it's a pizza party.
All right, then it was a fucking pizza party.
It's a pizza party.
I mean, the thing is, like, Adam went back to his house because he actually drove back to his house too, and I wasn't there, and Pi wasn't there.
Okay.
So like, what the fuck was the party?
Well,
I guess DJ Abed.
More than one person. If you got 3 people, it's a party.
Oha, Eric, we're having. I mean, we're always more than one person
party,
there. So we're gonna having a party every day. Yeah. We're having Chinese party. We're having a fucking Indian party. We're just having parties all the time.
All right. Okay. So the pizza. I don't want to make light of a very serious situation. Sorry.
Okay.
So the pizza thing happens. You guys eat the pizza. Ohio's feeling great. He must feel awesome, because you guys just qualified. And then you guys gotta kill him. It's literally like you go from 10 to 0. But you said he's fine. He was fine. He was just like, oh, okay, I understand, And then afterward, after he talked a bit and whatever, then that's when the kind of resentment crept in.
Yeah, I mean, I regret not being there because what happened was I should have been there because what happened was it was really hard because during the Excalibur thing, only I told Excalibur. It was only me and Eric, and no one else participated in this. And I felt like it was because some people didn't participate in this Ohio thing either, in terms of talking to him directly and telling him directly. Uh-huh. So I didn't feel like I should go because if they're not going, why am I going? Because they're closer to him than I am.
Yeah. So everyone decided. Or you guys decided as a group not to tell him for the qualifier. Is that true? It wasn't like a unilateral. Okay, and then you all decided together.
I mean, it wasn't even decided. It was more about we never even thought about it. We were already in tournament mode. Valve announced it. People were sleeping or something. I was awake or something, and I was like, "Yo, can you fucking fly over?"
I see.
it was like noon. Like I mean, people were sleeping at noon apparently. But like I was the only one awake, and me and Eric, and we are like, "Yo, can you fly over?" They didn't even fucking know. Then we had to play the matches, like, and then we wrote in the group and stuff, but we never actually talked about it because it's awkward to talk about because Ohio was there too. Like, so it was never it's like discussed through like Facebook, but it's not discussed like, and like we want to win the tournament, like we're still in game mode. Like I wake up, like I don't want to be distracted. Like I do as fast as I can. I want to play. I want to get ready. I want to prepare. And like everyone's still in that mode. So yeah, we definitely agreed together. But like for us, like everything happened so fast. It didn't really feel like this evil scheme. Like it didn't feel like we were like fucking. We sat together and we're like, all right, this is how we're gonna fuck over Ohio. All right, first we're gonna have a pizza party. After like, we didn't do any of that shit.
Okay.
We're just fucking playing games.
All right.
And so yeah. Anyway, afterwards, like Eric told him. And he was the closest to him, right? So like he did it this time. I wasn't there. I was closest to Excalibur, so I did it with him. But I regret not going because what ended up happening was like I don't think things were explained properly because there was a bunch of misconceptions.
Okay.
I mean, the pizza party thing is just an English thing. Like that's not like the.
Well, I mean, congrats! You created a meme that will last forever.
Yeah. I mean, the misconception is that we were hiding Universe for like a day and a half or something. We did not. We hit him for like 0.75 of a day.
Okay.
And like most of that he was sleeping.
All right. So to summarize, roster lock news drops. You tell Universe to fly over immediately. He flies over. You didn't feel that he was in the condition to play in the tournament immediately because he just flew and was like.
That was not even a feeling. It was assumed. It's just a pro gaming assumption.
So then you had to play. You felt you had to play the qualifier with Ohio. You decided not to tell him because you felt it would impact his performance. It's unfair to your own team. And then you guys win, and then you wanted to kick him immediately or tell him immediately, and then you regret not being there for the actual kicking after the pizza party.
I mean, there was also a bunch of other problems. Like the thing is like we didn't even know if Universe could leave EG. Everything was actually insanely fast. Like at that point, like because he has like shares and like he's an owner of EG.
Yeah,
like,
you have to you have to like get rid of your shares if you want to join another team because I assume you can't be an owner and a player because I think that's what happened to PPD. I think he also sold his part or whatever.
But like the thing is like he hasn't sold his. Like everything was actually very rushed. Like he still has a bunch of like issues that he has to fix. But, like we kind of rushed him towards this. Like we kind of rushed him to like do all this because we really want to.
They're in the process of selling them, right? I assume they're gonna get rid of their shit.
Because we didn't want to play the next qualifier with Ohio. Like I thought we would have a better chance of Ohio for next qualifier, but like we just didn't want to do. It felt so fucking bad.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
felt way too bad playing.
If you held them for a week hiding, that's like way worse than a day. If you had them play through all the qualifiers essentially, so.
And then what happened? So I guess that's it.
So
pretty
okay,
much.
so then Universe.
Oh wait, no, that's not it. Sorry. Okay, so this is okay. I'm gonna flame. Like
all right, go ahead.
So what happened afterwards is fucking Kenshi, who was a CEO of Amaski. I don't know if I should talk about this though. He's actually just
fucking late. You already mentioned Kenshi.
Alright, whatever. He just like tweeting and he's just like Facebook messaging is like, "You evil people, I'm gonna throw eggs at you." He's like upvoting everyone who's gonna throw eggs at us. He's just going ham.
And now Reddit hates you.
He's actually just like, I don't know, man. He's talking to Ohio. He's like, yeah, those guys fucked you up, man. And then like apparently he's like playing stand-in. He's not. It was Ohio, 100%.
Oh yeah, that. Oh god. Oh yeah. Okay, I don't even want to touch that. I don't even know enough about that to even get into it. Where
I mean, at first we were like, is that
it's
Ohio?
not? But isn't he allowed to play as a stand-in though? I don't understand why.
Yes, he was.
He's allowed to play as a stand. So why are they hiding it?
Because if they won, they would have told us it was Ohio, but if they didn't, they wouldn't.
Oh, are you serious? That's why?
I mean,
that sounds really weird.
I mean, that's the one thing I don't know. Like, so I can't.
That's what you're speculating. Okay, come on, you didn't know that.
No, I actually don't know that. Maybe he was doing it for goodwill. Maybe like he just didn't. Like maybe he just asked him to play and he didn't want to like make a drama, right? Like it could be either one actually. So that's
or like it's an advantage if you know it's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
But like he logged off, and then the other guy logged in, and I was like, oh, alright, that's
oh
him.
God, all right.
And then he dewards my ward. I was like, yep, that's him. And then I played against him a bit.
He works your ward.
And
He knows where we're warding. Yeah, that's him.
and
Oh
then after
God.
no, and then after and then I was like, yeah, we don't really know yet. You know, then we interact with him in the game, and I was like, all right, it's actually him. And then we actually start like assuming it's him. We're like, all right, get carry. He's gonna come here. We kill him. We're like, yep, it's him. He's gonna go here. Yep, that's him again. Go. And we just kept. And he played Omni Knight and Underlord, and like he bought the exact same items. He plays exactly the same. His mouse clicks are exactly the same. It's like it's him for sure. And not that matters. Like
Oh
he's allowed
God.
to do it.
Okay.
It was scary,
I mean,
you know.
it's not against the rules, so it's just
Yeah,
weird
it
that
was
they
fun.
did it, you know. So
It's not against
okay.
the rules, but
Yeah,
it's against the rules that he didn't play on his main account.
I mean, right? Okay. Sure.
That's actually against the rules, but I don't think there was any real punishment for that. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, they lost the qualifier anyway, so it's like, did they? Yeah, they did. So like, even if there was punishment, it wouldn't really be applied. Or...
Okay. Let me. Do you want me to ask you some general stuff? Because I think you. I mean, you said a lot. That's a lot of stuff. Can I ask you a few of the questions that the people people wanted to ask? Okay, cool. Okay, so I don't know if you want to review any of this, but how do you feel Universe improves your team? I guess what are the differences between their like play styles?
I mean, like sadly, one thing that was holding us back was just simply English communication and just communication in general. Like even if it wasn't English, it was hard for us to tell him exactly like how we want him to communicate in game, and the way he communicated was like it was just off. Like sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's too little. Like it just felt off, and it was very hard for us to communicate to him what we wanted. It was very hard for us to explain to him how to say certain plays. Like he would have to be translated. Like Adam would have to translate for us or Eric, and like you know even then like we don't know if he understands, and everything just kind of weird. And then
oh, go ahead. And
then play wise, we needed this player that could like because what happened with Ohio is that like he's a sick on the Omni Knight, you know, and like a few heroes like the Underlords and like whatever Tides, but like we felt like on our team like he had to play those heroes. We tried a bunch of other heroes. We tried Enchantress, we tried Fernon, we tried Enigma, we tried whatever, but like it never really worked out. So what ended up happening every game was that we were always first 3 as hero, but it made our drafts like very
predictable.
Yeah, predictable. Whereas with Universe, like we believe that he could play like Axe or like Enigma or Enchantress or Mirana or like some random ass hero that he plays. And he just plays a lot of Dota in general. He just plays so much Dota. It's actually unreal. And like because of like I played him before, right? I knew how much he plays. I knew like I know you can just look at his games, like what heroes he's played. He's played for so long. He's played offlane for so long. He's played every hero, and we really wanted that on our team to make our drafts more flexible. And we also really wanted someone that could carry us, and we feel like he can carry us. Like if we last pick him some Void, he's gonna carry us. If we last pick him some Act, he's gonna carry us. If we give him a good game, he's gonna like really give back. And sometimes we're gonna fuck him up too. We're just gonna give him the shittiest game of his life. But like we want to like be able to balance who carries the game. I feel like you really want to be able to carry the game in all 3 of your courts, and even your supports. And you have to be able to balance them based on the draft. Like if in the drafting situation, like I see like, or I feel like this hero is gonna fucking destroy if we pick this hero later, and then I feel like I can't pick him, then it feels really bad.
Okay. So another question. Can you describe the differences between the regions and the playstyles? What is do you feel like just yourself, your team, briefly,
I mean, it's hard to describe play from region because I feel like every region changes quite drastically in its own, you know. Like even for an N18 or protect, like even for us to predict a C team is very difficult. That's why we lost like Geek Fan 2-0, and then we 3-0 them back because it's like it's very hard for us to predict exactly what's gonna go down.
Okay. Let me reframe that then. If you do you have an answer to that, or do you just feel like it's difficult to say?
I mean, I can talk about strength of the regions.
Sure. I mean, which region
I feel like
is the strongest, and which one do you think is the weakest right now?
I mean, obviously, Europe is the strongest, and then I would say China. And I would say C.
Okay.
And then I would say, oh, sorry, no, I'll say Europe, but like Europe includes Virtus Pro. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you're not separating CIS and Europe. You're
No,
saying
yeah,
okay.
and then China, and then C, and then NA, and then SA. But in terms of qualifiers, I don't believe that. I think in terms of qualifiers, the hardest is China, but it's a very, very significant margin. It's extremely significant. And then I would argue it's C by a very significant margin. And then I'll argue it's the other regions.
Because there isn't one super strong team that gets invited every time, essentially, is what you're saying.
It's because our strongest teams are stronger than the other teams in the other regions that are playing the qualifiers.
I see. Okay.
Like, because it depends, right? Like Europe, because they're so strong, they also have the most invites, right? They invite Liquid.
They invite
Secret.
Liquid and VP, and those teams are out.
And Secret. So those three are like generally constantly invited.
Sense.
Whereas for China, like generally only newbie gets invited.
Yeah.
But like they have VG and they have LGD, and they're so fucking strong. They're actually so strong.
Yeah.
Like I can't say it, but like they're fucking strong. Okay. And then I think for C, I think Mesky, TNC, and us. We don't know for sure about us right now, but like I think at least we used to be. Us three can like we're probably as good as OG, I would say. Like all three of us, and Europe has like one OG, and then they're like dominant in the qualifiers right now, and and I think OG is strong in all the teams in there. So that's how I would compare it.
Okay.
It can change, but like that's how I see it right now.
Right now, yeah. Okay. Do you care at all about Reddit's opinion of you, and does it, because you at one point Reddit really loved you, and now they really hate you, and there was a time they make fun of you with the whole 50-50 thing. Do you care at all about what they say and think about you?
I mean, of course, it's too hard not to. I think, like as much as you, like the thing is like it, like no matter like how bad this is for us, I will never be like pity me, because like for Ohio it's way worse. Right. Like no matter what, like even if he's being praised like a god, and we're getting flamed, it's still way worse for us. Worse for him than us, because for us, regardless of whether I get flamed or not, I don't change. I'm not gonna like stop streaming.
You're not letting it influence your decision making, essentially.
Yeah. I'm not gonna stop streaming all of a sudden. I'm not gonna stop playing Dota. I do the exact same thing that I usually do. And my everyday life is gonna be the same, because it's just built into my habit. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna wait for breakfast, and I'm gonna immediately go over. I'm gonna play, and if there's no scrims, I'm gonna stream for the people who just want to follow me. Because I don't really stream for myself, dude. I don't like push the button for commercials. I don't really talk. I don't really try to like entertain them either. I just kind of just play, and I let them watch me play, basically. And I don't really change that. Like I do everything exactly the same way. Whereas for Ohio, like even if people are saying like, even if people are like going to him and talking to him and telling him all these good things about him, like for him, his life has changed. He has had to move.
I mean, he's still kicked. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had to move, and then like he has to look for a new team potentially. He has to like do things. He has to like make changes in his life, and I think that's usually way harder than what I have to go through. Even if it's like, it's kind of sad, like that everyone hates me or something. It's still like my life really changed, I think. So in that sense, it's not too bad.
Okay. Some people were like, how did it feel when did you consider how you felt when you were kicked, from No Tidehunter or whatever teams that you've been on? Did you feel it was kind of fucked up that you made a kick, or does that not even play into your decision making at all?
No, I mean, I think people don't understand what really happened for anything, and they just have a lot of assumptions about people's feelings, and because like for me, it's like I was never mad at No Tidehunter for kicking me. I was mad at S4 in particular, only. I was not mad at anyone else on that team. And the only reason why I was mad at S4 was because we started that team together, and at one point we really believed in each other, and somewhere along the line he lost faith in me, but I don't think he communicated to me directly and by himself, my problems, and that
you wanted a chance. That's what you felt, and you.
I wanted a chance from him in particular.
Okay.
I don't think I don't deserve a chance from the rest of them, because they're not that close to me. So if they just want to get a better player, or like a player that they think is better, that's fine. But then for S4, I think he should be this guy who should kind of warm me. And like looking back now, I don't really care. I'm not mad at him at all anymore. or anything like that. Like it's completely forgotten. But I was never mad for getting kicked, like itself. Like they want TI and shit. Like they made the right decision. At least like yeah. So it's like I mean even if they made the wrong decision, like I wouldn't be mad.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. And they're gonna do what's best like for themselves, and I think like living life like that is like it's kind of fine. Like we're not really stealing things from other people. We're not cheating in the game. Like we're not like map hacking or anything. Like we're not doing things that are like I don't know. Just there are things that are
Yeah,
wrong
you're
and right.
saying we kick someone. People kick people. Essentially, is what you're saying.
It's like I mean people steal too, but like I don't know. There's just some things that are like I think are really wrong and some things that are not. Like for me, like everything is about like glory and like trying to win, and
Uh-huh.
like I want to live my life like that, and I don't think I want to live my life where every single day I'm like I feel like something's holding me back
Right.
and holding us back. Like when you feel that way, like you really need to make a change, and like, that's what EG did, right? And maybe they made the wrong change, maybe they made the right change, but like I don't blame them for kicking Universe, like or anything like that. You know, they did what they think is right, and I. You know, as long as they fought hard about it and they didn't like just flip a coin as like we're kicking Universe and just lands heads. Like as long as they really tried their best and they thought about it in their own way and they like really applied like their own knowledge and they as long as they tried their best basically, I don't think you can really blame them for it. If they're just being jerks and they're like just like they're just fucking up for the fun of it or like you know it's not real passion, then I think you can blame them. But yeah, I don't really feel that way.
Is so another question is this team going to be the TI roster? What if you guys don't have great results for a couple months? Is it an option to reshuffle, or are you guys just like sticking this one out? You think?
I mean, I
In
don't
your
think
opinion,
that's
obviously things can change, but
I mean, obviously, I actually think we're way stronger than before. So hopefully, like we're just gonna keep getting better, right?
mm-hmm.
And most likely, it's gonna be the TR roster. But it's not something you can just say. I think like things can just happen.
Yeah,
You don't really know. Like
well, how
like,
about do you feel
after
that
Secret when we got Artesia and Universe, I
yeah.
think everyone felt like this is gonna be the TR roster. You know, everyone felt
Right, yeah.
so strongly about it. I don't think anyone like believed otherwise. Like everyone was so fucking gung ho about it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then like look what happened. Like he went back like a month later or something.
Do you so you're because the last time you played with Universe, bad shit happened. So
Yeah.
You think it's gonna go right this time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he's already playing at his peak.
Okay.
Already.
And the next, so you also believe like obviously you wouldn't have made this change, but you think this roster has the potential to win TI. Is that what you're kind of like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think every player who plays the game should have that feeling about themselves, or they should just quit.
All right. So
at least for now.
like,
maybe like 5 years later, like it's okay to just like treat it as your career.
mm-hmm.
But for now, I don't think any of the top players do that. I think they all just want to win, and because like there's no point thinking about like money or like other shit. In this game, if you win, everything works out for you, and if you lose, nothing works out for you, and that's it. Unless you're a streamer, then that's fine.
Yeah. All right, just one or two more. These are not related to the Ohio situation, so what do you see as the biggest change in yourself from the Team Secret days to now?
I feel like I'm a lot more logical in how I think. I mean, I've always been kind of like that, but I actually let emotions take over when it comes to very important stuff. But now I try to find a better balance, and I'm actually like slowly growing in that direction, like constantly. That's what I've noticed about myself, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay.
Wait, can I make one analogy?
Sure, yeah.
Not about me, but about the kicking and stuff.
Okay.
So in fucking sports animes, like there's always this like veteran player, right? He's like he's like third year of high school. This is his last year. He's always like they always talk about this. Like, this is my final year. This is my last chance. And that fucker gets kicked out usually by some first year kid who's like he's like I don't know, he's like 160 cm or some shit, or 150, and he just owns. And like it's always a very hard decision, But at the end of the day, in all the animes, the better player always gets in. And obviously in sports or in like high school, like they can come back because there's bench, right? But they can come back. And in Dota, like I mean, they're also kind of bench, but then they usually just leave, right? But is it that evil?
I mean,
Oh,
I think
depends on the
kicks
situation.
happen. I think most people had the issue with really how it happened rather than you guys kicking some shit roster changing because roster changes happen all the time. It's not up to me to judge whether it's bad or good. It's just, I'm asking the questions, right? So,
Yeah.
two
But
more.
me too, actually.
Yeah. What did NP stand for? Are you allowed to reveal that
Nothing.
now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, nothing. All
No.
right. Okay.
No, it's
Sorry,
just like
whoever
two
asked that.
syllables.
Okay. And then, why is your Twitter pic a Yoshi? That's the
Oh.
last question someone wants to ask.
I don't know. I just saw
Did you
some
just
Yoshi
decide
picture.
to?
I was like, this looks fucking great. And I was like, I want to be Yoshi.
That's
I was thinking of Deku for a bit, and I was like, I was gonna be Yoshi. He's also
okay.
green, so I just picked fucking Yoshi.
All right. Okay. So,
That's it.
all right. Anything else you want to say? Last, any last words you want to say before we
Yeah.
exit this?
I mean, for me, I'm not really trying to convince anyone of anything, to be honest. Like, I just want the story to be like they can like judge it however way they want it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like for myself, I would also not like how things were. Like, if I was looking at this situation like 2 years ago, I would be like, this is fucked up. Or like, now that maybe I listen to it, I'll be like, yeah, it's a little bit less so fucked up. But then, my opinion would, sorry, my opinion like changed like throughout time. Uh, that's
Okay.
it.
Thank you for taking the time. You gave a lot of information to us. Thanks for taking the time out to explain. Hopefully the story's out there. People can kind of like, I mean, that was like an hour and 10 minutes, but
No,
they can judge for themselves. So thanks for coming on. Good luck in the tournaments you qualified for. And hopefully good luck to Ohio in the future too, whichever team he decides to join. Okay, thanks.